It's 2001. The era of station wagons is coming to an end in North America. It's all about sport utility vehicles now, and everyone was jumping on the SUV bandwagon. While they did sell the SLX in the US from 96 to 99, that was merely an Isuzu Trooper in a very light disguise, and it was time for Acura to sell their own SUV. So meet the Acura MDX. The official vehicle of middle-class suburbia. Well, I don't know, honey. I don't really want to drive an SUV. Dr. Phil?
Get in. Look, what are you compensating for?
Oh, well,
Actually, I don't want to know. You want to be smart and buy what's going to last.
But it doesn't come in a manual.
Well, tough tinsel. Now get out there and be reasonable.
Manufactured in Alliston, Ontario alongside the Odyssey, the MDX was powered by Honda's 3.5-liter single overhead cam VTEC J-Series engine. This version, the J35A3, is rated at 240 horsepower and 242 pound-feet of torque. It's paired exclusively to a 5-speed auto and uses Honda's new VTM4 all-wheel drive system. In traditional Honda fashion, power is sent to the front wheels under normal cruising conditions, but when accelerating, the VTM4 system will automatically and proactively send torque to the rear wheels before slippage occurs. This system also has a lock mode, activated by a push button, which will send maximum torque to the rear wheels to get you out of those sticky situations. This lock position will function only when the shifter is in first, second, or reverse, and at speeds of up to 18 miles an hour. Inside, the MDX seats up to 7, 4 of which seats are even comfortable for adults, and all of which can be folded down into various configurations to accommodate different combinations of cargo and passengers. The interior is fairly luxurious, with leather, dark wood grain trim, heated front seats and side view mirrors, and even rear climate vents with their own blower motor built into the center console. Your grandparents had to walk to school, uphill both ways I might add, and you had to ride in the back of a wagon with no climate vents, so you had to wear a sweater sometimes. Your kids, well, I guess they'll have to tell their kids that they roughed it by riding to school in the back of a vehicle that didn't have a rear entertainment system.
Well, tough tinsel.
The original MDX had only 2 options, a $2,000 navigation system and a touring package that added a roof rack, different wheels, an upgraded Bose sound system with an in-6 CD changer, and driver's seat memory positions. So now your Acura can remember both his and her seating positions. The exterior styling of the MDX? Well, Acura expected that 80% of MDX customers would already be married. And it shows. But at least the original MDX featured its own unique styling and didn't just share the same front end with every other model.
Would the real MDX please stand up? I repeat, would the real MDX please stand up? We're gonna have a problem here.
The somewhat boxy design and large windows meant the original MDX has pretty good vision. In 2003, the navigation option now came with a backup camera, and touring models could now be equipped with a rear DVD entertainment system. So much for your kids having to rough it. Also for 2003, the J-Series engine was upgraded to make 260 horsepower, and throttle control was now a drive-by-wire system. Acura also added a vehicle stability assist system, despite telling journalists that traction control wasn't needed on the MDX back in 2001. A new 5-speed automatic transmission and revised suspension and steering systems aim to increase the ride quality and offer a smoother, more refined experience. The 4-wheel disc brakes were upgraded as well, with the front pads now pushed into the rotors with new dual-piston front calipers. There are also new wheels, a few new exterior colors, automatic headlights, and on touring models, rain-sensing windshield wipers, because it's just too much work to have to manage intermittent wiper settings yourself. You are an Acura owner after all. There are also minor revisions done to the radio and climate controls, and the MDX was fitted with Acura's latest standard steering wheel. 2004 was the mid-model run cosmetic update year, and the MDX got a slightly updated front end, new taillight lenses, and dual exhaust tips that are sure to signal to your neighbors that your husband just got a small cost of living salary increase, and you want to make sure Shannon and all the other mums at the field know it. Also for 04, the J35A5 got another minor horsepower and torque bump, and your husband is definitely going to make sure all his co-workers at the office know it. Hey, my MDX has VTEC.
The fuck you talking about?
Hey, you ever heard of VTEC? Who are you? Hey, Jacob, you ever heard of VTEC? Oh, bet! I knew I could impress someone. Honey, I'm home. They sent me home from work early today for some reason. Further updates for 2004 included a tire pressure monitoring system, ambient footwell lighting, and a power lumbar support for the driver's seat on the Touring package. They also updated the gauge cluster with some new graphics that make it a little more modern looking. For 2005, the MDX received standard XM satellite radio, hands-free Bluetooth on Touring models, an upgraded navigation system, and a larger fuel tank, which increased capacity by a little over a gallon. There weren't really any notable changes for 06, save for some color options, and 06 would be the final model year for the first generation. From 03 to 06, the MDX was also sold in Japan and Australia with Honda badging. The first generation was pretty successful, and it sold pretty well. It even won Car and Driver's Luxury SUV of the Year award for 2001. And it beat the Lexus, Shannon! Acura might have been slightly late to the SUV party, but it seems they really did do their research and understood their target market, correctly identifying that young families wanted something comfortable, something that handled like a car, and something that could handle winter weather and maybe some gravel roads. But let's be real, anyone looking for true off-road performance did not have the Acura brand on their radar. Plus, the MDX could accommodate 2 more passengers than its Lexus or Infiniti counterparts could in 2001, and this version of the J35 is pretty reliable. So while maybe it's not the coolest car you could buy in 2001, it might have been one of the smartest, and it made a good mid-size family SUV, and that's exactly what Acura was going for. For the second generation MDX, Acura was aiming to put a little more sport in sport utility, in an attempt to bring a few more dads on board the MDX train. The new MDX was lower and wider, and the styling was intended to be more aggressive.
The front fascia wears menacing headlamps and a gladiator shield for a grille.
Okay, well, I don't know if I've ever felt this MDX had a menacing look, but I guess compared to this it does. And we have to keep in mind as well what other cars looked like back in 2007. This was still before the era of every single car having to look angry. Settle down, Datsun. Of course, aesthetics often comes at a cost, and little vision was sacrificed over the previous generation, mainly due to more steeply angled quarter windows, which is one of the main rear vision killers on modern cars. Apparently, wraparound solarium-like windows are not popular anymore, but I kinda wish they were. Power on the new MDX comes from a new 3.7-liter J-Series, rated at an even 300 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. Transmission is still a 5-speed auto only,
Bogus. Well, tough tinsel.
and the VTM4 all-wheel drive system has been replaced with Acura's new super handling all-wheel drive, which first debuted on the flagship RL model in 2005. I've already explained this system in previous videos, but in a nutshell, torque is continuously automatically distributed between the front and rear wheels. During cornering, the system can divert extra torque to the outside rear wheel to help swing the back end around and avoid understeer. You can even monitor the torque distribution in real time with this little display on your dash. Inside, the MDX is more luxurious than ever, with dark wood grain accents and soft, subtle leather. There are so many features that the amount of buttons in the center console is almost comical, but I'm not complaining. I prefer this over the touchscreens that would come later. This is now a tri-zone automatic climate control, meaning second row seat occupants now have their own climate zone. Plus, on MDXs equipped with the entertainment package, the rear DVD player now has a remote that clips into the roof and heated outboard second row seats. I've lived in apartments with less amenities than this. Remember when all it took was power windows to make a car feel luxurious?
So easy.
For 07 through 09, there were 3 option packages available for the MDX. There was the technology package, which adds a DVD-based navigation system with real-time traffic reporting, a power tailgate, and an upgraded audio system. The sport package, which contains all of the technology package items, adds active suspension dampers, which have a toggle switch, upgraded premium perforated leather seats, HID headlights, and 5-spoke sportier alloy wheels. The entertainment package adds the rear entertainment system and heated outboard second row seats, but you can't get this package unless you also get either the technology or the sport package package as well, because that's how manufacturers like to force you into buying extra things you don't want. They make sure to put a few desirable options in each package, and since you can't buy the options individually, you have to buy the entire package or packages, often to the tune of several thousands of dollars to get what you want.
Putty is screwing me on this car, which is yellow now.
Who is this?
Canadian models actually only had 2 option packages, the technology package, which is basically the same as the US tech package, and the elite package, which pretty much combines the US sport and entertainment packages. This is probably done because Canadian models actually came standard with the second row outboard heated seats. An exclusive feature that Canadian models came standard with was headlight washers. 2010 was the mid-model run refresh, and the updated front end features Acura's new corporate grille, officially called Acura's Power Plenum grille. In addition to the new grille, there are new front and rear bumpers, brighter LED taillights, a new 6-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, an updated gauge cluster, and a new blind spot monitoring system, which honestly, thanks to these rear windows, is kinda needed. Yeah, Bill, you know, the new MDX me and the wife got, it's pretty sporty. She's a 6-speed with paddle shifters.
Oh, that's neat. You ever use them?
Well, well, no. The engine was slightly revised, horsepower numbers are the same, and torque is actually technically slightly down, but with peak output now at 4,500 RPM instead of 5,000, Acura said the MDX now had a more usable power curve. A new advanced option package, which essentially replaces the sport package, adds ventilated front seats, 19-inch wheels, the active damper suspension, and a new host of driver's aid features, including adaptive cruise control and collision mitigation braking. The second-gen MDX would go on to be sold until the 2013 model year without any more significant changes. Do you guys think that Acura improved the MDX with this generation over the first one? Did they succeed in making it more appealing to all the dads in the family? And is it luxurious enough to one-up all the other moms at the soccer field? Let me know in the comments.
Meet the 2014 Acura MDX, loaded with action-ready equipment like easy grip door handles and real nylon carpeting.
Man, that Acura's spacious trunk almost seems built for potato salad.
Up to 90.9 cubic feet of potato salad if you want.
Was that in the car all night?
Wow, this Acura MDX sure is a generously appointed trunk.
I need a man.
Mayonnaise potato salad left 12 hours in a hot vehicle. That's no picnic.
Now in 7 different colors, including one that's close to cinnamon.
Let's just say almond. Excuse me.
Pardon me. Acura. Yesterday's values with today's needs and tomorrow's significances.
The new for 2014 MDX was, according to Honda, developed on the image of an executive family jet. I don't know about that, but the MDX does have a very clean, albeit vanilla, aesthetic. On the front end, the Power Plenum corporate grille remains, and the road ahead is lit by Acura's new Jewel Eye LED headlamps, first seen on the flagship RLX. They look nice, just pray you don't ever have to replace them. On the inside, Acura was very proud of their new one-touch walk-in feature for easier access to the third row seats. The second row seats now coddle your children with climate control, 5-position reclining seatbacks, available outboard heated seats, and a 9 or 16-inch DVD entertainment screen, so your kids can watch whatever AI-generated slop it is that kids watch these days. The interior is nice, but familiar if you've ever been in any other Acura from this era. I don't like this new secondary touchscreen that replaces many of the physical buttons.
Well, tough tinsel.
But I do recognize that it does clean up the center console quite a lot. Thankfully, they did retain physical controls for most of the more frequently used features like climate controls, and thank heavens there's a volume knob. Radio preset buttons would have been nice too, but they're integrated into the touchscreen now. The extremely new MDX is powered by a new direct injection 3.5-liter V6, part of Honda's new Earth Dreams family of engines. Power numbers are slightly down from last year, but Acura claims this isn't noticeable, and it probably isn't. According to Acura, 0 to 60 time is actually a half second faster than last year. This new J series features Honda's variable cylinder management system, which can deactivate cylinders 1 to 3 under certain driving conditions, to allegedly save fuel, or at the very least earn an I pretend to care about the environment participation badge. For the first time, base MDXs come in front-wheel drive, but most were still equipped with Acura's super handling all-wheel drive, and the option option packages were similar to last year. The Advanced package adds a new lane keep assist feature just in case you're not a good enough driver to stay in your own lane, because as we all know, in the US and Canada, that apparently doesn't stop people from getting their license. Starting with this generation, MDX production has been moved to Honda's East Liberty, Ohio plant. The mid-model run update happened for the 2017 model year, and the most noticeable aesthetic change is the new front end featuring Acura's new corporate grille, now 20% more angry looking. The new grille features a diamond pentagon pattern, so your wife can never complain you don't buy her enough diamonds. You've already got jewel-eyed headlights and a diamond grille.
How dare you?
Pardon me.
I sure can't accuse Acura of not knowing their target market. They even changed the premium fuel requirement to a recommendation for this generation, knowing that most people who buy Acuras can't actually afford premium fuel.
How dare you!
The 6-speed transmission is changed to a 9-speed for 2017, so expect $600 transmission fluid changes at the dealership moving forward. The gear selector is now push button, so don't spill on it, and pray you never have a dead battery or electrical issues in the middle of the road requiring you to push your car to safety. It's technically possible to put this car into neutral manually if you know the procedure and have a few tools with you, but I suspect most soccer moms, and dads for that matter, will be stuck in the middle of the road until a flatbed tow truck arrives.
MDX, do you see this? Right there? That right there, if you turn that with a pair of pliers, you will be able to get it into neutral.
Well, isn't that convenient in the middle of a highway? It's super safe to have to stand in front of a car to put it in neutral. Did I mention the e-brake is now electric? The updated interior features a heated steering wheel and new genuine wood grain in the Advanced package, and some legitimately nice looking new leather colors in mocha brown or coffee bean or whatever this color is called.
Let's just say almond. Excuse me.
Pardon me.
The Acura Watch suite of driver's aid features are now standard on all trims, and it includes a brake hold feature, in case you don't want to have to keep your foot on the brake pedal at long traffic lights, because you're an Acura owner after all, and physical exertion is for peasants. Also for 2017, a hybrid model was introduced, powered by a 3-liter J-Series paired with an electric motor for a combined output of 321 horsepower and 289 pound-feet of torque. This model came standard with super handling all-wheel drive, and was available in technology or advanced packages. For 2018, a redesigned touchscreen interface aimed to improve the previous laggy system with faster response times and more intuitive menus. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto was now standard. An A-Spec trim was available for the 2019 model year and featured this cool black and red interior, exclusive A-Spec wheels, and darker chrome trimmings around the grille, windows, and fog lights. I guess they were still trying to bring a few more of those dads on board. Yeah, we got the A-Spec package on our new MDX. It's got the red stitching and Alcantara and... Honey, I'm home! They sent me home from work early today for some reason. 2019 models also had an updated transmission attempting to improve its acceleration feel, and 4-way power lumbar supports were added as standard features for both front occupants. While this generation is certainly luxurious and for the most part serves well as a mid-sized luxury family SUV, it's not built as well as previous Acura models. It's had its share of recalls, including the connecting rod bearing recall, which plagues many J-Series powered models in the 2016 to 2020 model year range. This is literally causing a fair number of these engines to have to be completely replaced.
Well, tough tinsel.
That used to be unheard of on a Honda product. I know a lot of you are MDX fans based on how much this video was requested, but how many of you own this generation, and what do you think of it? I'm sure a lot of people like them, and it does make a nice family SUV. I'm not telling you not to buy one, I'm just saying maybe don't bank on still driving it 25 years from now, like the people who bought the first generation.
Acura MDX. If you can't remember that, just think Dr. X and then replace Doctor with MD and then add an X. It's just that easy.
The fourth, and at least at the time of this video, current generation MDX went on sale in February of 2021, but Acura actually skipped the 2021 model year and designated them as 2022 models. With the RLX having been discontinued in 2020, the MDX is now Acura's flagship. because nobody really buys cars anymore. The redesigned MDX retains jewel-eyed headlights and a diamond pattern grille. Oops, this is an RDX. The redesigned MDX retains the jewel-eyed headlights and a diamond pattern grille. With the exception of the Type S, which I'll get into in a minute, MDXs are powered by pretty much the same 3.5-liter J-Series as last year, and power numbers are unchanged. Base and technology trims come standard with front-wheel drive, but can be upgraded to super handling all-wheel drive, which is standard on A-Spec and advanced trims. Obviously, the MDX is packed with all the latest features and technology, but in typical Honda fashion, the infotainment unit isn't the best on the market. Most people really don't seem to like the touchpad control system. Thankfully, the climate system has good feeling physical controls. This is something that Honda's actually done a little bit better on in the last few years. A push-button gear selector remains for the new 10-speed transmission. You could probably guess that I don't like the digital instrument screen, because for me, analog gauges just have a certain aesthetic charm that a computer screen just can't replicate, but I know I may be in the minority on that, and I'm sure someone will tell me I'm stuck in the past in the comments. I do have to admit that the ambient lighting Acura is putting in their new models, especially in the MDX, is pretty cool, and that combined with more fun interior colors than what we used to see in Acuras makes this interior pretty nice looking overall. The Type S model went on sale in late 2021, and it's powered by a turbocharged 3-liter V6 shared with the TLX Type S. It's a dual overhead cam J-Series and puts out 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. Super handling all-wheel drive is of course standard on the Type S, as is 4-piston caliper Brembo brakes up front. Type S models have a different front bumper with larger intakes and quad exhaust tips on the rear. You could add the advanced package to the Type S to add some additional fancy options like massaging front seats. This package puts the Type S price tag over $70,000 though, so buying one either means you've graduated upwards out of the ever-shrinking middle class, or you're going into debt making car payments you can't really afford. 0 to 60 on the Type S model was tested at 5.5 seconds by Car and Driver. The same Car and Driver article did also point out some flaws, complaining that the brakes were quick to fade and actually gave them an overheating warning on their second panic stop from 100. And they also seemed unhappy that it topped out at a top speed of 111 miles per hour. All I can say to that is, you guys must be in a real rush to get your kids dropped off. Have a good day at school, Timmy. There was an exclusive exterior color for the Type S called Tiger Eye, and it's actually a pretty accurate description of the color. A mid-run update for 2025 gives the MDX bolder styling. At least according to Acura. I guess the bumper's a little different, more pointy. The differences are more obvious on the inside. The controversial touchpad has been removed and the infotainment unit now has a touchscreen. The center console has been slightly redesigned and the new touchscreen has been moved further forward. A new Acura Watch 360 system includes so many driver's aid features that this is either the safest and most convenient MDX to drive ever, or the most annoying backseat driver of all time. Depends on your perspective, I guess. It will even change lanes for you, because surely you didn't want to drive your $70,000 Type S badged performance car yourself, right? A new audio system gives the base MDX 19 speakers and 31 speakers on the Type S model. I'm not sure how many speakers it takes in an automobile to start getting diminishing returns, but I'm thinking 31 has to be getting close. Nevertheless, I still would like to try listening to Smash on it. For me, this generation of MDX is a little overcomplicated and way overpriced. I mean, surely there's a better way to spend $70,000. But then again, sales remain strong for Acura's new flagship, so maybe not. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Over and over across many different press releases and journalist reviews I've read about the MDX, a common theme is Acura trying to make the MDX more popular with men. Well, obviously at some point they succeeded, since it's been one of my most requested models to cover, and this is my channel's demographics. So make sure to tell me in the comments what your favorite MDX generation is, and what you love or don't love about it.
Excuse me.
Pardon me. Acura. Yesterday's tradition of craftsmanship, today's affordable luxury. Tomorrow I'm busy most of the afternoon.